French intellectual Denis Diderot once described his experience at a Nazi rally in 1938. Diderot indicated that despite his rigorous attempt to remain detached from the spectacle unfolding before him, he was involuntarily drawn into the vortex of the crowd's hysterical adulation of Adolf Hitler. It was only by dint of a kind of superhuman resolve, said the French philosopher, that he was able to regain his equilibrium before the mesmerizing presence of Hitler's evil genius.
Bloß die einzige Macht und alleinige Macht in Deutschland.
Reportedly, Diderot said of Hitler that some people believe, from having experienced in his presence a feeling of horror and an impression of supernatural power, that he is the seat of thrones, dominions, and powers, by which St. Paul meant those hierarchical spirits which can descend into any ordinary mortal and occupy him like a garrison. What I am saying would be the cheapest form of romantic nonsense were it not that what has been established by this man, or rather through him, is a reality that is one of the wonders of the century.
Oh my goodness, I am not here to tell you what to think. I am here to ask you to think seriously. I want you to think seriously about a man who knows who we are, and he knows who we can be, with our many colors and religions and languages. Many colors, religions, and languages, but one government. I'm here to tell you, Iowa, he is the one. He is the one. Barack Obama!
People of the world, look at Berlin. People of the world, look at Berlin. Look at Berlin, where Germans and Americans learned to work together and trust each other less than 3 years after facing each other on the field of battle. Look at Berlin, where the determination of a people met the generosity of the Marshall Plan and created a German miracle, where a victory over tyranny gave rise to NATO, the greatest alliance ever formed to defend our common security. Look at Berlin, where the bullet holes in the buildings and the somber stones and pillars near the Brandenburg Gate insist that we never forget our common humanity. People of the world, look at Berlin, where a wall came down, a continent came together, and history proved that there is no challenge too great for a world that stands as one. While the 20th century taught us that we share a common destiny, the 21st century has revealed a world more intertwined than at any time in human history. In this new world, such dangerous currents have swept along faster than our efforts to contain them, and that is why we cannot afford to be divided.
Every child, every boy, and every girl should have the ability to go to school. To ensure that our nation does its part to meet this goal, we need to establish a $2 billion global education fund. We live in a time when our destinies are shared. The world is more intertwined than at any time in human history. Walls that divided old enemies have come down. Markets have opened up. The spread of information and technology has reduced barriers to opportunity and prosperity and opened doors to new competition and risk. There's a lesson that cuts across this economic crisis. Prosperity cannot be sustained if it shuts people out. Growth cannot just come from the top down. It must come from the bottom up, with new jobs that pay good wages and new innovation that creates opportunity across the globe. Across the globe. Across the globe.
You are the instruments that God is going to use to bring about universal change. And that is why Barack has captured the youth. And he has involved young people in a political process that they didn't care anything about. That's a sign. When the Messiah speaks, the youth will hear. And the Messiah is absolutely speaking.
Democratic running mate Joe Biden warned donors at a fundraiser in Seattle Sunday night to, quote, gird your loins if Obama's elected.
Mark my words, it will not be 6 months before the world tests Barack Obama like they did John Kennedy. Watch, we're going to have an international crisis, a generated crisis, to test the mettle of this guy.
And he said to you, General Powell, I need from you your recommendation on where I begin. What should be my priorities? Where would you start?
I would start with talking to the American people and talking to the world and conveying a new image of American leadership, a new image of America's role in the world. The problems will always be there, and there's going to be a crisis come along on the 21st or 22nd of January that we don't even know about right now.
Happiness, we're gonna spread freedom. Obama's gonna change it, Obama's gonna lead 'em. We're gonna change it and rearrange it. We're gonna change the world. Now's the moment, lift each voice to sing. Sing with all your heart. For our children, for our families, nations all join as one.
I've got two daughters, 9 years old and 6 years old. I'm going to teach them, first of all, about values and morals. But if they make a mistake, I don't want them punished with a baby.
Well, the first thing I'd do as president is sign the Freedom of Choice Act. Steve and Pam will tell you that we fought together in the Illinois State Senate against restrictive choice legislation.
Barack Obama defended infanticide, the killing of fully born infants who had survived a failed abortion attempt and were then left for hours in soiled linen baskets to die. Barack Obama defended infanticide, refused to let that bill out of his little subcommittee in the Illinois legislature. As I understand it, it didn't get out until he left. That's deep-dyed, cold-blooded, ruthless ideology.
You're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that that has not come, my Christian faith.